Hey guys, it is Josh and welcome back to LegoLogical. Today we'll be taking a look at my latest Rogue One LEGO Star Wars MOC. This is the ATACT, and as you can see I'm having a tough time giving you a full idea of what it looks like because it's actually quite big. Although it looks like the ATAT from 2014, I can assure you that this is completely original. Although I did take the instructions for the ATAT as inspiration, most of it is my own design. So there's the ATDP pilot for comparison. I don't have an ATAT pilot, so we'll just have to use him for now. But without talking too much, let me show you some close-ups of what this thing looks like. The ATACT stands for the All-Terrain Armored Cargo Transport and is used by the Empire in the New Hope era. I'm going to start with the legs first. As you can see, all four legs have a similar design, although the front ones are not ratcheted. They are just technically geared, and the knee joints are all ratcheted, and I ran out of ratcheted parts, which is why I used ratcheted for here and not for this one. So it's too heavy to balance on three legs, unlike the official LEGO one, which is kind of bad because, I mean, it can balance like this, but still it's not as good as having an entire three-leg construction holding it up so that it could have walking poses. This is more of a display model than a play model, so as you can see, it's, oops, that fell off. As you can see, it's kind of difficult to get into the poses you want. I usually just want to leave it all four legs straight, but as you can see, it is pretty solid the way it stands, so it doesn't flail around when you pick it up. So those will be the legs for you. Here's a look at how the foot pod designs are done, and this is the back of the legs. As you can see, I've done my best to cover all the Technic holes on the sides with plates and the underside as well. For that part there, as you can see, there's a double gear, a Technic gear in there to give it friction so that it doesn't go all flimsy and fly around. The cockpit is arguably the hardest part to design because I had to make tons of sacrifices just to get the right size, the right weight, and also the right shaping it needs to cover up all the gaps. As you can see, there's still a bit of gap right there and there, but that's the best I could have done. It's only held by one pin, so it's super flimsy, and it's definitely a display model. I do not expect to move it around and wave its head around. It's not as sturdy, but as you can see, it differs from the AT-AT because it only has two chin cannons and it can swivel from side to side and target the rebel scum. In the trailer, we can see that these two cannons are supposed to be attached to these disc pieces, but then it's a sacrifice I had to make because it looked too ugly if I put it underneath, and it gave a huge gap when it came up. So sacrifices I had to make the whole thing generally look better. And if we take it up, you can see that the ATDP pilot is seated in there very nicely. All he sits on is this slider piece, so it's very simple, that white slider right there. There's nothing much going on in the cockpit apart from some printed panels, or not printed actually, stickered panels, but it's pretty good, I think. So that would be it for the cockpit one pilot only. And now let's get on to the main part of this, which is the cargo hold. The all-terrain armored cargo transport will not be complete without a cargo hold, obviously. And in the trailer we can see them hauling these giant crates inside the midsection of their torso or hull part. So we can take that out. It's just one entire piece, and as you can see, it's completely hollow in there, so there's tons of space for you to place cargo crates. And that's for the crate. Well, that's what I'm going to show you now. It's pretty simple. It's just a huge trapezium, really. Nothing going on with this. And although I have an idea what the inside of this cargo would be, I'm not going to show you what I think or tell you what I think about it, because that could potentially be a spoiler for the film, and I do not want to get trash talk by other people like, oh, you spoiled the film for me. So I'm not going to show you or tell you what's inside the crate. But that's all it is, and there's even some spare space where you can put more things. And that's basically all there is to this build. Now I can show you one final touch at the back. This is just the back detail and how it's plated. And I think I did a really good job by covering all the Technic beams, which was something that LEGO couldn't afford to do with the pricing and the parts they had. So here's another look. This is a pretty cool perspective here. But now I'm going to show you an alternate into this entire setup. Check this out, now it looks just like an AT-AT. As you can see, I've covered up the empty side and they're completely still hollow inside. But that's great because what you can do now, if I show you, if I can open both sides, there we go. What you can do is put your Stormtrooper figures inside now. So that's great because there's tons of space for you to put figures in there and carry your troops around, which actually I prefer its look this way because actually I don't really like the AT-ACT's whole appearance with the crate in the middle. But there we go. That's the AT-ACT for you, disguised as an AT-AT walker. I do not own an AT-AT walker myself, so this is a great display model for my shelf. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. That's it for this MOC. If you like what you see here, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd be very happy to talk to you guys about anything brick related and non-brick related as well. Don't forget to subscribe to see more LEGO builds, and you can follow me on Instagram at LegoLogical to see some exclusive and behind-the-scenes photos. And without saying too much, I guess that's it for this time, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.